Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Hey guys, how you doing? Greg here and welcome to another video. So before we start, I just want to tell you about a new Facebook group that we started called Beginner Guitar. Learning the guitar can be a lonely process if you're not having lessons, and even if you are having lessons, like the time in between lessons can be you know, sometimes it can be hard to find the motivation to practice, and having like other people, like a community of people, can keep you going. And inside the group you can ask questions, you can post things that you found useful, you know, you can make friends, all sorts. So yeah, there's a link in the description to join the group, and we look forward to seeing you in there. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, the song's Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's taken from their album Blood Sugar Sex Magik, which is a really popular album of theirs. And yeah, they've got some really great albums, but this is definitely one of the best ones. If you haven't heard it, you should definitely go and check it out. Yeah, so I'll just play the first bit and then we can break it down. So the first shape that we're going to use is it's actually a C shape, but we're playing it 2 frets up, so it becomes D. If you haven't done this before, the best way to do it, I think, is to play a C as you usually would. And if you've never played a C before, it's going to be your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string. And we play all the strings apart from the very top one. And what we're going to do is we're going to change our fingers around so that we use finger 2, finger 3 and finger 4, and we put all those on like that. So now we've got this 1st finger available, and we're going to do that same shape but 2 frets up. So we'll go 1, 2, so now we're on little fingers on the 5th fret, 3rd fingers on the 4th fret and 2nd fingers on the 3rd fret. And then to make that pattern the same, we're then going to add our 1st finger to the 2nd fret of the G string. So we get this shape, and as I said, it now becomes a D chord. And what we're going to do, it uses a technique called hybrid picking, which is basically picking fingers, because the first bit uses the A string and the B string at the same time, and you can't strum this, so the only way we can do it is with picking a finger. I use my 3rd finger, but if you want to use your 2nd finger or whichever one you're comfortable with, then just, you know, either one's fine, so long as it sounds good. So yeah, we're going to have A and B together. Then we're going to do D, then G, then back to D. So we've got... I'm going to finish that bit with the B and then G. So one more time all together. And then we've got this rundown to take to the next chord, which is... It's going to be the 4th fret on the A string, the 2nd fret on the A string, the 5th fret on the E string, and the 4th fret on the E string as well. So, and then we've got an F sharp chord, a bar chord like that, and we're going to play, it's hybrid picked again, so we're going to do the B string and the E string together. And then we've got A, D, A, so it's kind of the same kind of thing as we were doing for the D, but just kind of, it's a different chord and some slightly different strings, but the rhythm's the same. So there's going to be the E string and the B string together, then the A string, then D, and back to A, and then finish with G and D. So that's the bit with the F sharp chord. And then we've got the same kind of thing, but just to, as we did before, like the rundown, we're going to have another few notes just to kind of connect it to the next bit again, which is going to be... And what that is the 4th fret on the D, the 2nd fret on the D, the 5th fret on the A, and the 2nd fret on the A. So Then we're going to go back to the D that we had before at the very start, but we're not going to play it exactly as we did before. We're going to do it with we're going to hammer on from 4 to 5 with our little finger, and at the same time we're going to play the 3rd fret on the B string, got hybrid pick like we did before. And then straight after that we're going to put our 3rd finger down onto the 4th fret on the D, so, and then we're going to go back to the A string again. So one more time, we're going to hammer on 4 to 5 with the 3rd fret on the B all together. Then we're going to move our 3rd finger down to the 4th fret on the D, play that, and then back to the 5th fret on the A. And then we're going to do G, then D, and then we've got this other bit here where we're going to, it's probably the trickiest bit of the intro actually, I think anyway, where we're going to hammer on 3 to 5 and pull off to 3 with our little finger on the B. So, then we're going to finish that with G and then D. And then we're going to go back to the shape that we had to start with, which was the D, and we're going to slide our little finger from 5 to 7 whilst we're holding down the D shape, and that becomes an E. And at the end of that we're going to pull up. I mean, you could strum the whole thing if you wanted to. I'm not sure exactly how John did it, the guitarist from the band, but I use my 3 fingers, so. But if you'd prefer to strum it, doesn't really sound much different, yeah. So, and then we're going to go back to that bit that we had before. Then we're going to go back to the F sharp bar chord that we had. Then we've got this bit again where we go, and then we're going to do the same bit with the hammer on that we did before for the D chord. So all this bit is the same as we were doing before. Then back to the run that we did on the 4th fret on the D, 2nd fret on the D, 5th fret on the A, 2nd fret on the A. So this bit's the same as we did it before. And then back to. And it kind of ends a little bit different. So the last bit is going to be the E string at the top, the B string together, then the A, then the D, then back to A. Then we're going to do G, D, A, G, D, A to finish. So G, D, A, G, D, A. So one more time. And there are all the bits to the intro. So the next bit we're going to look at is the verse, so I'll just play it through and then we can break it down. So quite a common question that people ask is about playing and singing at the same time, and the trickiest thing about doing that is like singing a different rhythm to what you're playing on the guitar. And if this is something that you're interested in doing, then this part of the song is actually a great way to start doing it, because you're only playing one strum per chord, and it gives you a chance to sing each bit at the same time. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in doing, then this would be a good song to try it on. But anyway, yeah, so the first chord we're going to play is an E. And we're going to play that, it's starting from the A string, so it's going to be 1st fret on the 7th fret on the A, and then we've got a 3rd finger on 9 on D, and it covers like the G and the B as well, so it gives us our E. So I'm still using hybrid picking, which I think is what John did in the song, but if you want to just strum the chords, that works as well. And then we've got a B, which is on the same frets but just starting from the string above and using the E shape here, and then you've got your 1st finger across the 7th fret. So if you're not sure, if you've never So if you haven't done bar chords before, this is we're going to put this first finger across the 7th fret, across all the strings, and then we're going to put our 3rd finger on the 9 on the A, little finger 9 on the D, and 2nd finger on 8 on the G. And the next bit we're going to do is like a slide from 9 and 9 to 11 and 11 on A and D, and then we're going to do 9 and 9 on D and G with our first finger. Slides can be a bit tricky, but I find if you look at the fret that you're going to, you're more likely to end on it than if you kind of don't look at it. So that bit's, yeah, we've got that bit, and then we're going to do a G sharp minor, which is going to be 6 on the A with our 3rd finger, 6 on the D with our little finger, and then we've got our first finger across D. Well, it doesn't really matter if it's on D actually, I just kind of put mine there because we're playing D anyway, it doesn't matter so much. But yeah, we need to get 4 on the G and then 4 on the B, and that's our G sharp minor. And then we've got almost the same shape again, but it's a major version, and it's going to be 7 on the A, 7 on the D, 6 on the G, and 5 on the B. So all together. And the rest of it is actually pretty much that again, but without the slide this time, and without the G sharp minors. We go straight to the A. The 3rd time through is going to be G sharp minor, E, B, C sharp minor, A, and the very last chord that we end on and hold is called E major 7, and we're just going to play it all together like that. And what it is going to be 7 on the A with our first finger, 9 on the D with our 3rd finger, 8 on the G with our 2nd finger, and 9 on the B with our little finger. So I'll just play it all through one more time. And then all the parts of the first verse. So after the first verse, there's like a second verse straight after. It starts to get a bit funkier, so I'll just play it through and we can break it down. So it's still working over the same chords that we had before. So it's going to start off with an E, and we're going to strum that down and then up. And it's kind of like some little funky like embellishments, I suppose you call them. And I'm going to change to the B, so I'm going down, up, and then we've got like two muted notes there. So, and then we're going B with a down strum. Then we've got this bit here that goes, and that's going to be the 7th fret on the B and the 8th fret on the G at the same time, which is hybrid picked. So we're going to do that with I'll do it with my 2nd and 3rd fingers. And then we've got the 9th fret on the A. So we're going to do 7 and 8, 7 on B, 8 on G, and we're going to hammer on with our 3rd finger from 8 to 9 on the G, and then pull off. And then back to 9 on the A. So one more time. So from the start. So this time we're going to do a slide on the A string like we did before, but this time it's going to only be on the A string and not the D as well. We're going to slide from 9 to 11, and then we're going to do 9 on G and 9 on B at the same time. And then back to 11 on the A, and then 9 and 9 again on the G and the B. And then we're going to do a G sharp minor to an A like we did in the first bit. And then we're gonna do a hammer on from 5 to 7 and then pull off on the E string at the bottom, and then finish with B, the 5th fret on the B from the A chord, so all together. That's the first bit. There's quite a bit going on there, as you can see. It almost repeats itself. But this time it goes straight to the A, and then we just go like the bottom 3 strings. We're going to do E, B and G. Then it's almost the same again. But that time we just do E and B at the end. And then we're back to the E major 7 chord, which we hold until the chorus comes in. So what that is, it starts off with an F sharp minor chord, and we've got like this funky, like a couple of muted strums. So we're going to go down, up, and then we're going to do the F sharp minor, so, and then a couple more after, so, and then we've got 3 E's. And then we've got a B, like the B we were doing here earlier, the E shape. We're just going to do the bottom part of it. I mean, there's different ways you can do this. You could do a D shape, which kind of, I think on some of the choruses it sounds like John's using this shape. It's like the D shape that we were doing at the very start, but we're doing it in B, or doing a B version of it, which would be here. So our little finger would be on the 14th fret. But you could, it kind of links up to the D shape, like so you could use that shape there. So it'd be, you could do that if you wanted to, if it was easier to get to. I think he does that on some of the choruses. It sounds to me as if he kind of changes on each one, but they both work. They're both B, so kind of whichever one you want to do. Yeah. So if you do B like this, it's going to be first finger across the 7 on the E and the B. Second finger on the 8 on the G, and then your third finger on the 9 on the D. And we're going to do so down, up, and then back to F sharp minor. It can be hard or a little bit tricky putting in the like the funky strums and stuff. So you could just do. If you're not used to doing that kind of funky rhythm playing, it is a little bit different to just playing chords. So yeah, there's kind of a couple options there. Yeah, the chorus, it repeats that bit 4 times altogether. I'll just play it through one more time. To the chorus. So after the chorus there's another funky verse and another chorus, and then it goes into like this whole end section, which I'll just play through and then we can break it down. So it's going to start off with this A major shape, which if you put your first finger on the 5th fret on the B and your second finger on the 6th fret on the G, and we're going to play that with the bottom string open as well. And you get this kind of jangly sound because these two strings here, the two E notes, so you kind of get that kind of sound, like a, it's got that jangle to it. So we're going to do like a down up rhythm, and then we're going to turn that into an A minor. So we're just going to take our top finger, or I've kind of changed the whole shape altogether. So I was doing your first finger and your second finger, and then you could do this shape here if you find that easier, or I find it easier to use your second finger and your third finger for that one. So that'll be second finger on the 5th fret on the G, and third finger on the 5th fret of the B, with the E string at the bottom open again. Then we're going to go back to the shape that we had to start with, but we're going to do that on the 3rd fret and the 4th fret on the same strings, with the bottom string open again. And then we're going to just slide that shape back 2 frets, and it gives us like an F there. So all together. He does this 3 times all together. And after that we've got this bit here again, which is the first chord is going to be your first finger across 10 on the D, 10 on the G and 10 on the B, and then put either your little finger or your third finger. I find it easier with my little finger, but it's up to you. If you want to use your third finger, that works as well. Put that on the 12th fret on the bottom string, and then we've got almost that same shape, but we're going to go back a fret, and then we're just going to use the fret that's right next to our other finger this time. So we're going to do 9 on D, 9 on G, 9 on B and 10 on E. So yeah, so that same down up rhythm, and then we're going to finish off with a G bar chord, which is going to be 10 on the A, 12 on the D, 12 on the G and 12 on the B. So after that it goes back to the A major that we had, the A minor, the G and the F, and it does that right to the end of the song. And on some of the bits John adds like a and what that is, when you get to like the A minor, you could do a, on some of the bits he adds that, I mean not necessarily on all of them, but just little bits to kind of embellish it and make it a bit more interesting. So yeah, so say you're on the A minor, you're just doing a pull off from on your first finger on the 3rd fret on the bottom string, and the same thing but using the F shape. And you're going to pull off with your little finger or your third finger if it's easier. I find it easier with my little finger, but it's up to you. And it does that right to the end, and then it just finishes with an A chord. And they're all the parts to Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're looking to improve your guitar skills, then make sure you join our Facebook group, as there's lots of value to be gained from it. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe. That's all from me for now. Take care of yourself guys, and see you soon.